Hey there, welcome back to Mastering Menopause. Today I want to talk to you about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention, and that is how do you maintain your results after you lose weight while still living your life, being able to go on vacation and enjoy all the things. Because let's be honest, the hardest part of weight loss isn't actually losing the weight, it's keeping it off once you do. After I lost 16 pounds this summer in 8 weeks for my photo shoot, I wanted to find that sweet spot where I could maintain my results for the most part. I did not maintain my photo shoot weight. That was not the goal. But how do I maintain this look where I feel great, I feel like I look great, and I can still say yes to those date nights, to trips. I do the occasional wild weekend in Vegas where we have fun, and it's about all the things. And so today I'm breaking down exactly what that looks like, what I do at home and what I do when I travel, and how I manage to maintain my body goals and my freedom at the same time. So like I said earlier, no one tells you this, but maintenance is actually a skill. It's not a holding pattern, right? It's not, oh, I'm done dieting and now I'm done. It's really a new phase. And so after that photo shoot, I had to figure out, like, how am I going to maintain this? I also learned a lot about myself during that aggressive phase. And if you're looking to lose weight, you don't have to take it at a snail's pace. And once you learn some of these skills, like, this is going to carry into your maintenance as well. I've been pushing pretty hard, but I think the way that I had it set up, it was actually pretty sustainable because I was dieting for, I hate to say dieting, but I was. It was like 12 days at a time. And then I would take 2 to 3 day breaks. And so that to me was very sustainable. It didn't feel like I was restricting, even though I was, but I was still having foods that I enjoyed. I enjoyed the foods that I was having. In fact, I learned some recipes that I still have to this day. And so that's what's helped keeping me on track. And again, it's maintenance is just a weird place because there's really no goal. You're just trying to maintain your results. And sometimes it can be hard because I, for one, have excessive weekends. I like to travel. I don't want to be tracking. And so it's like, how am I going to build that lifestyle so that I can enjoy those things, but still also maintain some kind of, she does this every time, I swear to God. She has her zoomies when I'm recording. But so just living in a nice little flow where I can have those excesses, but then how do I still maintain goals? So that's what we're going to be talking about. So as far as the foundation goes, it's really about creating those habits for yourself. And so my everyday habits make maintaining easy. And so number one, and I gotta say it, is gonna be protein. Of course it's gonna be protein. Even when I'm not tracking, right, I'm mentally tallying. So I am not tracking calories right now. I'm not tracking macros. I just mentally add up, am I hitting my protein goals? And for me, like the way that I have my breakfast set up, like I'd love to front load my protein. I love to front load my water, like all these things. I front load my steps. So that's just the way that I do things to make sure that certain goals are being hit. For me, I'm shooting for 150 grams of protein a day. When I'm traveling, like I'm fine if I get 125. So I relax that a little bit, but protein is just what keeps me satisfied. And if I don't hit my protein goals like early on in the day, I am so snackety and just in the pantry, just going through. And then I'm like, why am I so snackety? And I'm like, oh, yes. So I don't have those situations anymore. I'm like making sure that I have that protein on board. And so that definitely helps. I also want to keep building muscle and just keeping out of the pantry is basically what the goal is of the protein, and that keeps me out of trouble. So my whole philosophy is if you win breakfast, you win the day. And this goes for being at home, but also when you are traveling as well. And so I'm not a big pancake person. Like I'm not a big waffles and stuff like that. Like I'm going to want eggs and bacon. And I will always I bring my protein powder with me when I'm traveling. I will always find a yogurt that I can add my protein powder to. And so I really stack myself up, right? I stack the protein in my favor. And so that is something that you can easily do on vacation. Yes, you have to think about it, right? You have to be prepared, but it is very easily done, to be honest. It's just it's a different way of thinking. And so now for me, it's just automatic. But it just helps you feel full and keeps that blood sugar balance. And then you're not looking for junky stuff like at lunch. And so a typical morning, again, eggs, bacon, protein in my yogurt. It's super simple, but really effective. And then for lunch, I'm going to double up on my protein. I'm going to have, if there's a chicken, let's say there's a salad, right? Because usually for me, it's like going out. I'm talking about when I'm on vacation or when we're on doing trips or whatever. Unless there's this amazing lunch place that I like have to have this thing, then for lunch, like typically it's just going to be a salad with a double protein on it. So I'll get, maybe it's a chicken salad. I'm like, hey, can you throw some shrimp on there? Or hey, maybe I'll have steak on the salad, maybe do a little side of shrimp or side of chicken, like whatever. I'm going to just double up on the protein, because for me, usually it is the dinner that I'm looking forward to, right? We're making reservations at amazing restaurants. I'm like, I want all the things, right? I'm probably not going to be hitting protein goals, and that's where the carbs and the fats are going to be coming in. So I'm not really super concerned with the calories, but I am aware. I think when I went to Cape Cod this summer, I put in a day's worth of calories. I shared it to my story. It was like 3,500 calories. Yes, there was alcohol involved. Yes, there was dessert involved, but that's just how I roll. I don't do that every single day, but there's definitely going to be days where I blow it out, especially when we're going to Vegas and stuff. This is how you balance it out. And it's about maintaining certain habits. So one of my other habits is, we just talked about the protein, we talked about front loading, but water. And that is super effective for just making sure everything is running smoothly. And I am now drinking 120 to 150 ounces of water per day. I got one of those 40-ounce hydro jugs. And so I'll fill that up 3 times, maybe, and then a little bit more. I'm having 2 by noon. And so that's just a really easy visual way for me. If I have, say, like a 28-ounce jug, then it's how many times did I fill this up? I lose count. Like I can do 3 and 4, I can remember that, but I lose count if I have to fill it up more than that. And I'm going to have 2 of those hydro jugs before noon. So I have half of it before the gym. I finish it up at the gym, fill it up at the gym, and then I come home and finish that off. When I'm traveling, I do take my water bottle. It is the smaller water bottle. It's a plastic one, but it's still a visual cue. And then whenever I get to wherever I'm going, we live an hour and a half from Vegas. So I will bring water. I will bring gallons of water and have that, and I'll fill up my jug. I'll bring it up to the room, and I'm just making sure that I have it with me, and then I have my water bottle. So again, that's just a visual for me to be like, hey, let's have some water. So it's just so helpful. It helps with your digestion. It definitely helps with energy and that cravings and that 2 o'clock crash. Sometimes that's just dehydration. It is not that you're hungry or that you're tired. So I've just found like it's definitely a game changer. And then the last little habit, and this is what I've learned. This is what I learned from that aggressive approach, was cutting back on all those little extra calories. So I used to definitely load up my coffee on cream, and I used to put cheese on everything, like every single thing. It was like cheese. And I was bragged about how much cheese I had between cottage cheese and then cheese on my eggs. And then I would have more cheese on the salad and then cheese on, it was a lot. I didn't actually quite realize that until I actually had to pull it out. Actually how much cheese and dairy I was eating. Cottage cheese, of course, cottage cheese is still having its moment. I will say, and I've mentioned this before, I still do it to this day, is eggs. I take hard-boiled eggs, I take 2, cut it in half, pop out those yolks, and then put the cottage cheese in there. So half a serving of cottage cheese is like little deviled eggs. I do everything but the bagel seasoning, or I'll just do salt or whatever. It's so good. So it's those teeny little habits where my coffee, I used to not really measure it. I love heavy cream in my coffee. And so I wasn't really measuring it. And so I started measuring. I was like, oh, okay, I'm having 2 cups of coffee a day and one serving is 15 milliliters. It's I think 2 tablespoons. I don't know. I measure everything in like grams and ounces and stuff like that. So one serving is 15 milliliters. That's 50 calories. And so I was having 2 of those a day. And I like to froth it up. I have my frother. And so that's the goal. As long as I can get a nice little head on my coffee, that's like what I want. And so I have now gotten to where and I still measure it, right? It's just, I don't even leave it up to chance. It's really hard to measure out. So I'm shooting for 3 milliliters. So sometimes it'll be just 2. Like I know I can't just add more. Sometimes it'll be 4, like whatever. And so that's really cut down on my calories, but also all the cheese, like the fat. I have cut down tremendously on fat. And so that has helped free up so many calories. So I'm not really tracking. I typically do about 1,800 to maybe 2,000 calories a day if I was to guess. That leaves room for like on the weekends where I can have a glass of wine or just multiple glasses of wine. So I know I'm not quite hitting those 2,000 calories every single day. And then I get to the weekends and then I'm over on the weekends. So it's fine. It just balances it out naturally. But when I'm on vacation, that's like how I'm getting away with going out and having those excessive weekends and it not impacting my weight. Now, if I just strung a bunch of those days together, then yeah, it's going to start adding up. But for now, right now, I've had a good amount of trips. I just got back from Miami where I was there for 2 days, 3 nights, 2 days. We go to Vegas probably once a month. I have my birthday week is coming up. And so I know that is going to be a party. So November 8th, I'm going to a concert on November 1st and then November 8th is my birthday. And so I don't exactly have it planned yet, but it's just having those little habits, like where I've cut that out. Before I was like, oh no, don't take my cheese away from me. Don't take my coffee away from me. Don't take my cream. And it's, you know what? It's okay. And now I don't even miss that stuff. I honestly don't miss it. So these are the habits that have built that foundation. And so that's just automatic now. And I think a lot of women struggle with travel. And when I travel, again, I talked about I prioritize protein. I bring my protein with me. Again, I relax my expectations a little bit, right? I'm shooting for that 125, but I'm not tracking macros. Again, win breakfast, win the day. That's definitely good. That definitely is my my motto. And then having the water. So it's like very much like my normal routine, but then not. And that's how you can get away with that. I don't punish myself for enjoying a nice dinner or having cocktails. I've learned that balance where I'm going to enjoy my food. I'm going to skip that guilt and just move on. It's not this whole, I'm going to start over on Monday. And that's the difference between like control, like having control and having balance and moderation, and then having excess as well. And not obsessing about the macros. And I would say that doing that aggressive diet for that photo shoot, it actually rewired my brain. It completely changed how I think about food. My hunger cues, I recognize, am I hungry or am I just bored? And so no cravings, those are gone. And that has a lot to do with the protein, right? If you set that up, those are going to go away. I've stopped mindlessly snacking. I know I famously say I love my popcorn, I love my chocolate, but I don't have that anymore. And a lot of stuff I'm just not even buying anymore. To be honest, if it was sitting in there, yeah, it would probably be calling me, but I don't even buy it anymore. So I do love my wheat thins. I love my wheat thins. So those are in there, but just like the mindless crap, like I just don't buy it anymore. I think that the experience taught me that discipline doesn't have to feel like punishment. It's not punishment. It's not, oh, you can't have this. And so that is actually freedom. I don't overthink food. I don't label my days as good or bad. This is life, right? And I get to make these conscious choices most of the time. And that gives me the flexibility when I want it. So yes, I go out, I drink wine, I have espresso martinis, I'll have a margarita. I've learned that I don't stress about it. I've learned that the key to maintaining isn't perfection by any means. It's about having that foundation, having those anchors. Again, protein, water, some kind of movement, right? In a mindset that's, I get to have this, not that I have to. And so that's what balance looks like. You can live your life and maintain your results. You just have to build that foundation that makes it possible. So if you're listening to this and you're ready to rewire your brain and get rid of that food noise and finally make maintenance feel effortless, this is a process, right? It doesn't just happen overnight. And so I made a short video that explains exactly what we do as far as with an aggressive diet. It's about, I don't know, it's about 6 minutes long. It is using one part of our program called the Catalyst Fat Loss Accelerator. And that's where you can lose anywhere from, I just did a calculation the other day for this woman, 7.5 pounds in a week. That's not, she is also like 215 pounds. She's tall, she's 5'8". And so that's not going to be like everybody's experience. But if you take a look at that video, it's going to show you what the process looks like. And then what I can do is I can run your numbers through the calculator that I used for the aggressive fat loss. And then we can see how much weight loss would be possible for you. What is the rate? And then also how long, what would the approach be that I would take? Typically, it looks like 3 to 4 weeks where you're going to be on an aggressive diet, and then we take a break. And so it really would depend on your lifestyle. I have 2 clients that are doing this right now, and so I have it all mapped out for them. And so one, I think she was going 20 days, and then she had a wedding that she's doing. Towards the end of the month. And then we're going to do like another 3 weeks. And then she's going to take a little like week break for Thanksgiving. And then we're going to do another 2 weeks for her. Maybe, we don't even know, because I think for her, it was 4.5 pounds per week. And she was like down for it. She was like, hell yeah. I want to do this. I needed to get this off, and I am ready to do it. And so that's like the mentality you have to have too for that. If you want fast fat loss results, yes, you're going to have to give up alcohol for that period of time. When I did that myself, so I was having 12 days, and then I would have refeeds. And then, I had alcohol on those times. So it wasn't like I just went alcohol free for that whole 8 weeks. But when it was time for the deficit, like there was no alcohol. There's definitely some trade-offs. And we can also take a more sustainable approach. If you're fine with losing a pound per week, I'm down. But if you have 30 pounds to lose, do you really want to take 30 weeks? Like, I'm so bad at math. That's half a year. It's more than half a year. 30 weeks, 4 times 7. That's 7 months, right? 7 months to lose 30 pounds, where you could literally, if you take this approach, math. Okay, say you could lose 5 pounds, 5 pounds a week. Then that would be 6 weeks. Now, I'm not going to say you're going to lose that in 6 weeks, right? You can lose 5 pounds a week for 6 weeks. That doesn't mean we're just going to go barrel down for those whole 6 weeks and then you're at your goal and then you're done. No, it doesn't work like that. We're going to have to take a little break in between there. But can you imagine, right, where you could actually, and this is very realistic, that you could reach your goal in 2 months. Like absolutely. And I will say the leaner that you are, the less weight that you're going to be able to lose. For me, when I did this aggressive approach, it was 2.2 pounds per week. That's what I was losing. So that's why it took me 8 weeks to lose that. But I will say on that first week, I forgot. I think it was like 5.8 pounds that I lost in that first week. And then I lost another like 2.5. It was pretty significant, like right out the gate. And so that is like definitely the benefit. Now from there, we're talking about for sure water, and but also just inflammation and bloating. Like my digestion never was better than when I actually did that. Or I should say, maybe not so much my digestion, but my gut health, because I had definitely had to supplement with fiber, but I will say that like the bloating and those kind of symptoms, those went away. I had a crazy growth spurt with my hair, like my eyelashes grew. My hair is long. I just cut a bunch off. And so it really just kickstarted like I don't know, just like my system. Like you would think like it is not healthy to eat three calories in the triple digits. You know what? It's not healthy if you don't do it in a planned manner. This is very much protein forward. There's no room for I call them the beige foods, right? We're just pulling out the beige foods. So what's the difference between a 1,500 calorie diet where yes, you're having vegetables and you're having fruits and you're having your protein and stuff like that, but then you're just filling in with the beige foods because you have the calories, right? We're just taking out the beige and then very much focusing on the nutritious foods. And so you can't tell me that is not going to be a benefit to your health. All of my numbers improved. My blood glucose numbers improved. So anyways, I think I got off topic, but I just can't say enough like what that approach did for me and my habits, and how I'm now carrying those forward and now just living my best life. To be honest, I'm 57, I'm gonna be 58, and I wear what I want. I can eat what I want for the most part, right? Not every single day do I live this lavish lifestyle, right? The rest of the time I was like having the same stuff. Like I'm very much a seasonal eater. And so what I was eating this summer, I've definitely changed up to have more seasonal. So I like those changes. But again, it's really cutting down on the extra fats. I'm saving a ton of calories by not having that much cream in my coffee. I'm getting in like 7,000 to 8,000 steps. It's nothing crazy for sure. When I'm on vacation, I swear to God, I walk more when I'm on vacation because we're always like, we're walking everywhere. But anyways, so if you want to see what that process looks like for yourself, then just shoot me a message, shoot me an email. I'll share that video with you. It's really short. And then if you want to do the fat loss prediction, then I'll just have you fill out a form and then we'll run your numbers and then we'll see what it looks like, because it's pretty exciting. And then we can see like future casts, like what that would look like for you. All right, my friends, thank you so much for hanging out. If you know somebody that would benefit from this information, then please share it with them. And if you got some value from this, I would love it. I would love it if you did a screenshot or something like that and put it up onto your socials and tagged me. I appreciate that. All right, I will talk to you next week. Bye. This is Mastering Menopause. By using fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, and mindset, you can master your hormones and get your body back. I'm Kathy Cote with Catalyst Fitness and Nutrition. Let's get into it.